Good morning, Facebook Live.
Another Friday.
Got B-Dub in studio. We're back at it again. It's a little more somber. Hey, and for the first time ever, we don't have Mayday on the set, and not because he's off.
That's exactly right. Mayday is out with our team right now. That we have had, as you guys know, in the Birmingham area, we've had a lot of flooding going on, and our team has stepped up to the plate. So we are a little short-handed this morning, but I think we can cover it well, Coach.
Record flooding. I mean, it's the most rain, most water I've seen dumped since I've been with SERVPRO. And we've seen, look, man, it seems like every time I'm on call, I see there is a major event that's happened, and this seems to me to be one of the worst.
Yeah, I tell you, I was actually reading an article this morning that this is the second time this year that we've had record rains like we've had. It's never happened in the history of Birmingham before.
It's crazy right now.
So pretty unique. But, hey, we're out here to serve customers, and that's what we do in their time of need. There's been, as you said, tremendous flooding going on, and lots of people in need and help. As you can see here, we got some video rolling of our crews just kind of doing what we do, and that's to go into these businesses and homes and try to help people get their life restored back. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're helping people get their life back together.
And, I mean, man, credit to these guys, because I'm going to tell you, what you see in an event like this is that these guys, it means something to them to help people. I mean, honestly, you know, the guys all kick in. It's an around-the-clock event. These people are tired.
Yeah.
They're worn out, and they're exhausted, but at the same time, they look over there at this homeowner who may have just lost everything they have in a flood, and they go, you know what, let's keep working. We need to get this done. So kudos to the entire team. These guys, the marketing guys, all of production that's
our
made
office
staff, all the way up, man. Everybody has chipped in on this thing and made this thing run smooth.
And you know, Coach, you talk about this a lot, but we talk about our team that we have. Our team, we want to develop a team of quality people. We have that. We have the best team in the industry. And again, they sacrifice a lot, especially in these times of need. It's almost like the military, you know, when there's action with the military, everybody jumps in, they do their role, they perform their task, and at the end of the day, the team wins. So we're very proud of our team. Can't thank them enough, and the people that trust us to come into your home or business and service, you know, your time of need. Speaking of service, we have teams from all across the country still coming in to help because there's so much need of cleanup even after the fact.
Speaking of first, that's for me and my stint here at SERVPRO. That's the first time I've seen the storm team activated here locally.
Yeah.
And to see everybody coming in and pitching hands in there to try to get this thing done, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So, and that thing's up and rolling.
It's rolling.
I'll tell you what else is rolling. It's drinking. I'm drinking.
And this one today, 4th and Inches. Because you asked me right before we got on the show.
I wanted to see if you could guess it.
What is this? I said, man, it tastes like. It seems like every time I get a drink, every other week, it's almost like suntan lotion.
Here's what I think is happening with you. I think that I'm pretty sure Danny has made up his mind that you're a beach bum. Because every time I'm like, Danny, what can we give Benji? He's like, oh, let's give him the beach blast, or so your drink today is called Cabana Boy.
It's great too.
And when he made it, man, it looked good. I thought, God, he said this is right down his alley.
I'm beginning to think he makes the same mixture, but just calls it something.
Gives you a different name. I tell you what, I have a new favorite drink, and there's no one more disappointed about that than Maddie. Because the Maddie Special has been my favorite for a long time. And Danny today said, hey, I got something for you. Chewy Cherry Sweet Tart.
Say that 10 times.
But it's that right there. When he handed it to me, I just looked at Maddie and I said, all right, Maddie, I'm sorry. And it looked like I had kicked her dog, man. I don't even think she'll talk to me anymore. So that is delicious.
We appreciate what 4th and Inch has done. Go support them if you're in the Chelsea area. And there's also other stores like them around.
There's no other store like Danny's.
There is no other store like Danny's.
Don't get that twisted. Danny and his staff, they're the best.
They are. So man, October.
It's here.
October's
here. It's got fall in the air a little bit, and got all these big things coming around the corner. Got Halloween right around the corner.
Yeah.
But also probably the most significant thing about October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, again, we talked about it a little bit last time, and want to talk a little bit about it this time. Just how important it is. Make sure you're doing your screenings.
Yeah.
Make sure that if you've got a family member that needs that kind of stuff, talk to them about it. Let's get that. That needs to be front of mind because that is a really important thing. You can see the graphic here behind us. Your reps are going to be bringing these around and passing these out. Screening, supporting, serving. These are all very important things for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and that means a lot to all of us here.
Yeah, and for those that may not have someone that has gone through this, my family has had, some of my relatives go through this, and just know that it's there, be aware, and this is what this is designed to do, is to help bring more awareness to Breast Cancer Awareness Month and those that are in need in this time. And for those that may be affected during this time, that we could just pray for them, remember them through this time with their family.
Yeah. Or say something to a survivor.
That's it, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. You talk about the people that you lose and this and that. There's a lot of people who fight and fight and fight, and they beat this thing, and those people need to be put up on a pedestal and lifted up too, because that's a tough fight, and they made it through it.
That's exactly right.
All right, what else we got? So we've got all of our commercial stuff you talked about earlier with the flooding and the large loss stuff that we've been dealing with.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the one we just finished?
Yeah. So technically, we've had a lot of, we talked about flooding homes, businesses, but we just recently performed a fire cleanup because fire season's come, and we're here. I mean, fire season, this is the time of year between October, sometime towards the end of January. People are, obviously have their heaters on. Maybe they're lighting up their Christmas tree soon. Believe it or not, we're talking about Christmas.
I know, man.
Can you believe that?
Better start. I've only got till the day before Christmas to start shopping.
That's exactly
that's about when I do it.
But we just performed a fire damage cleanup recently at a school, and we thought it'd be good to share kind of just a testimonial of what we were able to accomplish for this school. So check this video out.
It's a cool video.
I'm Russell Keene. I'm the principal here at Southeast Lauderdale High School. I've been the principal going on around 7 years. About a week before school starts, I am actually at Orange Beach at a restaurant, and I get a phone call from our boys basketball coach, and he is FaceTiming me. And he FaceTimes me and shows me the fire and says, "You need to call somebody." And I don't know why he didn't call 911, but that's what happened. Then we got the ball rolling. I called 911 dispatch and got the fire department on the way, and we had other personnel that was on the way because there was a lot of questions, and here I am in a restaurant in Orange Beach while this is all going on. Our insurance company recommended SERVPRO to come in, and they came in and did some initial documentation, took thousands of pictures of the damage. Then the decision was made do we want to just get SERVPRO to clean, or do we want them to take care of the whole project? I encouraged the superintendent to get SERVPRO to come and do the whole project. It was very obvious, here we are a week before school starts. I needed to be focused on starting school, not necessarily starting a renovation project in the gym. That's why I pushed him to get SERVPRO to handle it from the start to the finish. And I honestly believe that if we hadn't done that, we would still be fooling with this project today. There was a lot of equipment coming in. We had an 18-wheeler here just about the entire project. A lot of parents didn't even know we had a fire, and they would see the SERVPRO truck out there and thought that we were just doing a really deep clean or something. There were several of them that mentioned that, but it was the mobilization and being able to come in quick with a bunch of people to get this knocked out. Communication with the SERVPRO project managers was great. Every afternoon, I believe we got an email detailing everything. The percentage of the project was done. This is what they were doing. Being able to have that one person that to always go to, and not have to go down and find the painter contractor and the flooring contractor, really made a lot of things simpler for me. And then I could focus on starting school. It exceeded my expectations. I expected us to still be trying to wrestle with a lot of this old equipment and things that we had. For instance, like the trophy case. The trophy case was not the best looking and wasn't very functional. SERVPRO came in and we totally took it out, and now we're getting to work on a brand new one. So I mean, it was a lot of things give and take with SERVPRO that I felt like exceeded our expectations. And anytime we had a problem or anything came up, they were quick to address it. The speed in which they started this project and stayed on it, and they met every deadline that we could possibly want them to meet. I mean, it was professionally done, the communications was clear, and I can't think of a better group of guys to work with.
I tell you, Coach, that speaks volumes for itself, what our team is able to do and accomplish.
Yep.
You heard that, I mean, they were about to start school, and I mean, literally a week or two before school opened, this fire had happened. He was on vacation. Our team was able to come in, get the school restored, and what they didn't tell you in there is, well, actually, I think he did mention that we were able to do not only the mitigation cleanup, but also the reconstruction, their painting and the.
He said he pushed for all of it.
Yeah,
So
really.
I tell you what, if you've never been and watched those guys operate on that large scale, you know, I think it's something all SERVPRO people should do is when there is a large scale loss close to you, and somebody from SERVPRO is out there operating on it, just go watch.
Yeah.
That machine. I mean, it is neat to see just how that thing comes together, and they really do. It's a well-oiled machine, man.
Yeah,
well-oiled machine.
When you see the trailers pull up and you've got all the necessary supplies and resources available, you know, to them at their disposal for a timely project. I mean, that's what it's about, is getting them restored, because a business cannot afford to be down. I mean, just think if something happened in one of our facilities, Coach. You know, we can't afford to be down.
Yep.
And so we want to get it restored quickly, and that's what SERVPRO is able to do.
That, and I think the other thing is I feel like whenever something like this happens and we roll in with that kind of stuff, you see the relief on the faces of the people, like, because they don't know. I mean, they're dealing with something that they've never dealt with.
Right, yeah.
And this isn't the world that they live in. And so there's all this uncertainty of, I don't know what to do next. I don't know the next step. And when the show comes to town,
that's right, yeah,
and the trucks roll in and all these people start coming off and start knocking things down, there's that sense of relief, like, okay, we've got this thing in the hands of somebody who actually knows what they're doing and can run with this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, one thing we failed to mention a few minutes ago, that a big part of this flood cleanup that we're doing, we'd be remiss if we didn't thank the first responders for what they have done to go out. And I mean, I saw two Birmingham police officers that got an award as a matter of fact, I think it was yesterday afternoon, going out and putting their lives at risk to help save someone else's life. And we can't thank you guys enough for what you do out there on the field. Anyone that's a first responder.
Absolutely. That is, you know, hey, and they were out in full force the other night when all that happened. And it's dangerous out there. We sent a couple guys out and had to bring them back because there just was nowhere. I mean, it was a madhouse out there.
What is it that James Spann says?
Oh, turn around, don't drown. Turn around, don't drown.
No, it's true. I mean, turn
100%.
around, don't drown, because you never know when. I remember there was a flood in Center Point, Alabama. This has probably been 12, 14 years ago now. And I watched this car that was in a parking lot. I mean, straight up went through this water zone, and when it went down, the whole car went underwater. Ugh. Now, the gentleman that was driving the car made it out safely. Okay,
that's good.
So that was very encouraging. But I mean, to your point, don't take a chance.
Yeah,
because you never
be careful,
know.
Man, it's not worth it. You're trying to get somewhere. You may get there. You may not. It's not worth that chance.
Yeah.
So
speaking of turning around
and taking some chances,
I told you last week that, you know, I was going to take some chances.
And you did.
I have to admit, Bo Nix pulled off obviously it's a team win for Auburn, but Bo Nix did an incredible job and probably stamped his way to the position the rest of the year.
Well, let me tell you what Bo Nix did. Bo Nix has affected the way I pick games the rest of the season. You'll find out about that today. So,
well, let's talk about the overall record,
right,
because I think I made some headway, Coach.
You did. You made a tremendous amount of headway in the last 2 weeks. So, as of last week, I went 3-5. Could not be more disappointed.
Nice.
Our guy, what do you mean nice? Did you hear me? I said I'm disappointed, and you're over there reveling in it.
I'm just saying you went 3-5.
Okay, you went 3-5.
Oh, okay. Well, you're right.
So see,
you're right.
How's
You're
that feel?
You're
Nice.
Right. What did Mayday do?
Mayday went 4-4.
That's not much better.
All right, well, but it's still better.
It is better.
All right, so 3-5, 3-5, 4-4. That brings our totals on the season. I am 18-22. Mayday is 18-22. And you, the 1B dub, is 17-23.
I'm only one game back.
It is a tight race right
back.
now for the who stinks the least.
How did our man Bryant do last week?
Bryant went 5-3. I got a bone to pick with Bryant. Bryant, if you're listening, okay, I want you to see how serious I am. I want you to look at me right here, Bryant. It's your fault. It is your fault.
You flipped your finger.
That I went 3-5. I would have tied Mayday. But you gave this rousing speech. Oh, UAB doesn't think they can lose. And I should not ever pick with my heart, and you messed with me, and it cost me. I blame you. I just want you to know that.
I appreciate it, Brian.
That's
very
not
much.
That's not cool.
Who we got this week?
All right, so we've got a list of games. Let's be transparent here with how this works, too. Every week I send out a list of games. This week, with everything we've had going on, Mayday put the list of games together.
And he actually has
He's got some good games. But now he sees how hard it is to pick these games because what did he do? He sent 10 games instead of 8. He couldn't narrow it down.
But that just gives someone a chance to either pull away or be in trouble.
That's exactly right. And I've got Mayday's picks here. So we're going to get started with the picks. And I'll read off Mayday's first, and then we'll let you go.
Let's do it.
All right, so we got Georgia at Auburn. Georgia is a 15-point favorite. This is our one. No, actually, we have 2 point spreads.
Yeah.
So you got to pick this game with the point spread. Georgia's a 15-point favorite. Mayday takes Georgia minus the 15.
I'm going
right
next.
out of the bat.
I am going with the Auburn Tigers
In
the point spread. Look, Auburn is at home. Okay. Bo Nix has just come off of an incredible game. I believe that the Auburn defense, Owen Papo, is going to come back. They're calling him a game-time decision, but we'll see. Typically when they say that, he's going to play. I believe we have the best linebacker core in the country. Yep. And as an Auburn fan, obviously.
When they're playing.
When they're playing, you're right. But I just think Auburn will at least – I don't think Auburn will win, but I think they will keep the game closer than 15 points.
Well, I told you – that Bo Nix was affecting the way I pick games. What he did last week was amazing, and I believe has solidified his role.
Yep.
However, I picked against Auburn last week, and they beat LSU. I will be picking against Auburn again, hoping that same juju works and that they beat the Georgia Bulldogs. So I am going Georgia minus the 15. Look, what Bo did was great.
Yeah, I agree.
But if he runs into that backfield and tries to spin around like he did against LSU, Georgia is not LSU.
Georgia's defensive line.
They will decapitate him.
That 6'7", I can't even remember the guy's name. Pickens, I think it
340 pounds.
He runs like a 4'7" or something crazy.
Yes, and if you spin and that guy's there, it's lights out and hello TJ Finley because Bo Nix is asleep. All right, next game. So next ball game we got here. Hang on now.
Arkansas and Ole Miss.
It is Arkansas and Ole Miss, but my sheet went off. There it is.
Did Mayday Suey?
So right off the bat, Mayday goes Arkansas Pig Suey.
I disagree with Mayday. I think Ole Miss is coming off. Get your popcorn ready. Okay.
Yeah, he got embarrassed.
He got embarrassed by Alabama, and I think that Ole Miss will come out at home against the Hogs.
I went with Ole Miss too. I think their offense is too good. I'm with you. He got embarrassed. Arkansas is more physical.
Yep.
But Ole Miss sort of takes that physicality away from you with what they do. It's air raid. Yeah. They're going to come out and bomb it all over. I went Ole Miss too. Next game, Oklahoma versus Texas. My man Mayday is going Boomer Sooner.
He's going Boomer
Sooner. He went Oklahoma on us.
I have to admit, I just got back from Dallas, Coach, and had a little me and my wife's anniversary, 9-year anniversary trip, and we actually were close to where the Cotton Bowl was, where they had the Texas State Fair. And I have never seen the amount of people. We didn't actually go to the fair, but we went up in one of the high buildings there and were able to see across. There's a lot of people there. I think that the Longhorns take it. They're on a roll right now, and I know Oklahoma is kind of up in the air, but I'm going with the Longhorns.
Hey, I think that's a great pick, and I don't say that very often. But then again, you've also turned it around here lately. I took Texas too. Man, there's something, and it's at some point this season, Oklahoma is going to put everything together.
Yep.
And they're going to look like a world beater. But for some reason, there's just something not clicking with Oklahoma. I got Texas too.
I'm telling you.
Sorry, Mayday, we're leaving you out. Look, you could go big this week, or
it could be
crash.
a wide separation.
BYU versus Boise State. And Mayday goes BYU. He went Cougars on us.
I have to agree with Mayday on this one. I don't see how BYU will lose, but we will see.
I also am going BYU. There's just something about Boise State this year. I just don't.
Yeah.
I can't. Let's call a spade a spade. I hadn't barely seen Boise play this year, and there's a reason for that.
They're not even on ESPN.
There's a reason for that.
See.
Next game. See how much time we spent on that game? That's what we thought about that game.
Quick. This is probably the best game it could be the best game of the season, obviously, so far.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, there's one coming up I think may rival this game this week. All right, so you've got Penn State versus Iowa.
3 versus 4.
Buddy, that's a tough ball game right there. And my man Mayday goes Iowa Hawkeye. I feel like he always goes Iowa.
He does. He
said he loves the logo. No, he likes. He may have dated a girl there or something.
He likes the Hawkeye. Who knows? I'm going Penn State. I grew up, believe it or not, in 1984. I think it was. I was 5 or 6 at the time. My grandfather was a usher at Legion Field. Penn State came to Birmingham, played Alabama. Of course, we were raised Auburn fans. My mom went to school there. But we got into the game at halftime free. Obviously, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I became a Penn State fan, closet Penn State fan. I have been a Nittany Lion fan for a while. Obviously, I pulled against them when Auburn went up there to play. But I'm going with the Nittany Lions to win it.
Well, that's where our little streak ends. Of us picking the same, because I'm going Iowa, and I don't think it's close.
I think it's going to be a blowout.
But here's the thing. I hate that the Auburn Tigers lost to Penn State because I honestly believe Penn State is just not that good. I just don't.
They struggled in the first half.
They can't run the football.
Yeah.
I think Iowa walks. I think they expose Penn State.
It's an ABC 2:30 game, I think, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But then again, I also thought that last week Ole Miss had a chance to upset Alabama. So who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Notre Dame versus Virginia Tech.
Who's Mayday got here?
Oh, Mayday's Virginia Tech.
He's got to be going Virginia Tech.
He's Inner Sandman, baby.
I have been against Notre Dame all season. I just don't think their team is there. Virginia Tech had that wild upset at the beginning of the year. The game
that somebody on this little setup called.
That's right. It was me. It was you. But I am actually picking the Fighting Irish to go into Virginia Tech and win this game.
Oh my goodness!
Did I throw you a coin flip?
No, you didn't, because I'm going Virginia Tech. I've got again. You've got a team who can't run the football. Notre Dame cannot run. How they're winning games blows me away because they can't run the ball.
I agree with you. Their defense is playing well.
But when you play in Blacksburg, Virginia, on a night game, when Inner Sandman kicks in and that crowd gets going.
You're right. It could be
it's ball game. Virginia Tech all day. Next game, we've got look at this. The old Michigan Wolverines and the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
That is a classic.
We've got with Mayday, my man went Michigan Wolverines.
I have to agree with Mayday here. I haven't pulled for Michigan this year. I just didn't think they were playing that well. I think they're in the top 10 now.
Yep.
They're going to Nebraska. I just don't think Nebraska can hang. It's Wolverine Day.
I picked Michigan last week. Again, I don't think there's any – we can't sugarcoat it. I'm not a Harbaugh fan. But he's got his guys playing now. And so I also have Michigan, mainly because I don't think Nebraska has anything. But Michigan's going to play somebody at some point. And when they do, they'll get exposed.
That's right. You're right.
But it ain't this week.
It ain't this week.
I went Michigan. Here's the game.
I agree. When you said a while ago, I thought the LSU Kentucky
This is the one I think could be one of the best games of the whole week. LSU at Kentucky LSU is fighting demons right now.
Who's favored in this game?
Right now, I believe it was Kentucky by 4.
I was going to say it can't be much.
No, it's a close game. But you got LSU fighting demons, and you got Kentucky riding a wave.
They're riding it.
5-0 right now.
Coming off the
Undefeated.
Gator win last week. Who would have thought? Storm the field. LSU, to your point, Coach O, I believe if he loses this game, I'm not telling you who I'm picking yet, but if he loses this game, he might be on the hot seat.
Well, Mayday is going with the Kentucky Wildcats. So I think he's setting you up here for you to knock it out of the park.
Mayday, I do like your pick. However, I am going to also agree with you. I think the Kentucky Wildcats, the only reason I'm picking Kentucky to win this game is they are at home. They have something more to prove than LSU does. Obviously, to your point, we talked about this pre-show that Coach O's job is probably on the line with a loss here, but we will see. I just think Kentucky will come out and win this game. I think they're going to win by a touchdown.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I think. I think LSU wins this ball game. I think I get a game up on both of y'all right here because you both go Kentucky. And let me tell you why LSU beats Kentucky. Because there's not a basketball involved.
Well, this
is not basketball. Kentucky is still Kentucky.
But don't you think that LSU is distraught after last week?
I think if you are a coach of a program who has the athletes that Ed Ogeron has, and you know that if I lose to Kentucky, there's a pretty good chance I've lost my job, you pull out every trick, you leave nothing in the bag. This week of practice has probably been intense. I mean, that man's playing for his job. That's a big deal.
It is.
So that's why I went LSU, because at the end of the day, I don't see any way. I just don't see any way that he can't afford to lose this game.
You're right.
All right, Alabama at Texas A&M. This is the other one with a point spread. Alabama is a 17.5. That's a big spread for this game.
Spread. At Texas A&M.
Yeah, which to me, what this says is, this screams almost like saying, hey, this should show you just how bad Jimbo Fisher is got his guys playing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Alabama should never be a 17.5-point favorite over Texas A&M. Texas A&M should be a powerhouse.
What did Mayday go with?
Mayday has got Alabama minus the 17.5.
I have to agree with Mayday here. I mean, Alabama's playing too well right now. They are the best. Well, between them and Georgia, you could be a coin flip who's the best team in the country. But I think Alabama will cover. I think A&M started out number 4 or 5 in the year, and they have just degressed every week, rather. Yep. And I just don't see how they win, even at home. I don't see how they cover the point spread at home. So we will see. But I'm going Alabama with the spread.
I'm with you, man. I went Alabama too. Here's what I think is happening is I think you have Alabama and Georgia competing with each other now. And it's almost like, hey, if you have a down week and we blow out our opponent, we're going to leapfrog you for number 1. Alabama doesn't like losing at anything. No. Even if it's for a week, they don't want to be ranked number 2.
That's right.
So Alabama's going to go out there and try to run the score up if they can. Hence also why I took Georgia minus the points in our game, because I think Georgia's going to try to do the exact same thing. Yeah. So poor Texas A&M. That's a tough one.
Last game.
Michigan State versus Rutgers.
Who did Mayday go?
Mayday goes Michigan State.
I have to agree. First of all, I mean, who cares in this game? To be honest,
not sure Mayday why this one made it on here.
I think Michigan State will pull out the win. I mean, at the end of the day, was it going to be a 20-19 game or something? No. I mean, who knows? I haven't even ever watched a game Rutgers has played. I don't think.
Not since was it Greg Schiano that was the good coach out there at Rutgers? Ever since he left, I hadn't watched any.
Yeah, what was that? 1982.
It was a long time ago. But I tell you what, it was. It was before he did really well there though. Like at one point he had a 10-win season at Rutgers.
What's Rutgers' mascot name?
That's the Scarlet Knights.
Okay, well at least you know that,
buddy. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna take a Spartan over a Scarlet Knight anytime.
You're going Michigan.
I'm going Michigan State. I'm with you. Hey, I do have a question though. Yeah, it got me thinking about it a while ago with the Georgia Alabama talk. If Georgia and Alabama played today, who wins that ball game?
I think you're asking me to
I'm
tell
asking you. If they played each other today, who wins? Neutral field.
Neutral field, I'm going Georgia. The only reason I'm going Georgia, their defense is playing too. I want to see Alabama's offense play Georgia's defense and vice versa. I don't think Georgia's offense, even though Alabama doesn't have the defense they're used to having, they're still playing well. They're playing very well, keeping the points low.
You can do that. You can do that when you've got the amount of studs that they have.
That's right.
So I agree. All right, guys. Well, that's the show today. You got the picks. Put your picks down here.
Yeah.
We need to get your picks in here. Let's get those on. We want to see your picks down below. Remember, we're going to pick out a guest picker at the end of this thing, and whoever has the highest total. I think the highest guest picker right now is gone 5-3.
It's Bryant and El Toro went 5-3.
Yeah, and then also the viewers on the show.
Okay,
the people who are viewing it, man. Those people, I think the highest has been 5-3.
We may need to have them on the show.
Well, you think about it. In all honesty, you think about 5-3, and it doesn't sound that hard. Hey, it is real hard to pick close games. So good job on those guys that have done that. Put your picks down there below so we can talk about it. You know to call us anytime you need us. We got the number back here. B-Dub, you want to take Mayday's role and give them the number?
205-664-6770. And just again, a thank you to not only our employees, the first responders for all the work that you've put in, the long hours, but also the customers who trust us to service them with their home or business needs. Again, 205-664-6770.
That's it. Hey, guys, you know that we're here 24/7, 365. Feel free to call, especially since I just came off of call today and no longer have to take those calls because I'm going to go get some well-needed rest.
You need some rest, Coach.
I need some rest. But as always, guys, if you need us, call us, Birmingham.